Hello, everybody. Welcome to a special edition of the Beer Garden, where we're going to be covering the Cheltenham Festival Day 2. This is Wednesday, the 16th, right after or right before the Beer Garden, or actually Happy Valley. We had a really good day on Tuesday as far as Honeysuckle winning, and that was a brilliant win by her, undefeated 15 starts. And Charene, that was I know we didn't want to take it because everybody was going to take it, but what did you think of the race?
Yeah, I think that definitely Honeysuckle is an amazing mare. I just watched the interview post race for the trainer. He just keep mentioning that Honeysuckle is just amazing, 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 and that's what I think that it is not easy to see a horse to have a such a long consecutive win for a long time. So we all understand that it is not easy. So definitely, she is a great mare.
Yes, yes, indeed. It was a really, really great win, and seeing her keep her streak alive is really good. And Steve, what was your favorite jumps horse that you remember? You're from the UK, so you see it more than we do. Who was your favorite horse over jumps?
There's been so many. Of course, I'm going back several years. Istabrak was a fantastic hurdler for the likes of Aidan O'Brien. I think I've always quite liked modest, more modest horses that have always tried their best in big handicaps. Family Way was a great horse that I loved, and that was a long time ago now. But Family Way and the likes of Sprinter Sacra, some fantastic horses at the Cheltenham Festival, and so many to even think about. And Honeysuckle, Hurricane Fly, yeah, can't think now, but probably hundreds if I sit down and think about it. Some great Flagship Uberales, some great horses over there, and Florida Pearl, great horses from Ireland.
Yeah, and I really enjoy like how much they battle. I think they battle more out as opposed to watching the flat races, because you see them battling, head to head, toe to toe. And we saw it with Ascot earlier during their jump season. It was like it's really, really, really cool spectacle. I know that Sara, this is your first time watching the jumps. I know you're kind of squeamish a little bit watching it, but you did have your eyes glued to the TV watching it this time around. So, what was your impression of it with the big festival?
It's really exciting, I think it brings on that camaraderie and that excitement and appreciation for the sport, and to see it all come together on such, I mean, Cheltenham, just when they just showed the track without the horses on it, it's unbelievable. And to see the fields and these jockeys, and I always thought it was really special. After some of the races, you'd see some of the jockeys riding past each other and shaking each other's hand, congratulating each other, because it is a really difficult race. In the US, we're used to flat racing. That's what we watch. And so, yeah, it's a bit nail biting for me to watch these races. But I mean, I did watch that Honeysuckle race, and I think my mouth was to the floor just watching that. I mean, they're an unbelievable athletes. Congratulations, to Rachael on Honeysuckle. I mean, that was incredible. It's exciting. It brings up some excitement. Like, okay, yeah, yes, they start at 6 a.m., but I'm going to be watching them. Luckily, I have to wake up that early anyway, so I'll definitely be following through with this festival.
Yeah, always definitely exciting to watch the jumps races, especially like I was saying, the big finishes at the end where you think a horse out of nowhere is like going to be dead last, and then all of a sudden just comes up and passes a lot of tired horses is a really great thing to see. Especially it's great for the sport. Seeing a lot of people back in the stands at Cheltenham is really, really cool. So we're gonna get into our bets here. So we're gonna do a best bet and then a next best bet, and I'm gonna start with race number one with the Ballymore Novices Hurdle Grade 1 race. And I'm going to go with Rachael Blackmore, Journey with Me, number 4. Very consistent, 3 wins. Currently, right now in the Australian market is $6.50. If we go look at other places, about $9 in on Sportsbet in Australia as well. So it's going to be tough. This is a tough field because there is a heavy favorite in Sir Gerhard. And I know, Steve, you're also in this race as well. As your best bet, I would take mine as a each way chance. But Steve, are you confident in what you've picked?
I think I just sometimes have an aversion to picking odds-on shots, and I think Sir Gerhard's a really good horse. He won the bumper last season, and so he's 1 from 1 at Cheltenham. And to be honest, Three Stripe Life, my selection, number 8, he's been twice behind Sir Gerhard, and Davy Russell has ridden him all season. He was beaten fair and square last time at Leopardstown, by Sir Gerhard. But I think the advantage for Three Stripe Life is there's another 5 furlongs this time. It was 2 miles the last time at Leopardstown. Now it's 2 miles 5, which should bring Three Stripe Life's stamina into play. It's probably a bit of an each way, as you say, but you do get surprises at Cheltenham. I'm just hoping that Davy Russell and Gordon Elliott can have a spring a minor surprise and turn the tables on Sir Gerhard in the opening race, the Ballymore Novices Hurdle.
Yeah, I think the favorite's going to be tough, but as Steve said, we're going to try to take him on here, especially if we could get some place value underneath if Sir Gerhard happens to win. And who knows, we could have a winning bet between me and Steve getting second and third behind Sir Gerhard, or maybe we might get the bigger odds and a win bet for them also. So Charene, who is your best bet on the card?
My best bet will be in race 4, will be the champion chase. I like number 7, Shiskin, because he, as a 2-time Cheltenham Festival winner, is seeking for a 11 consecutive win on this time. And it is good to see this horse to return last year with consistent performance after the wind surgery. And this time, as in a field of 8, all the geldings are at the same weight. And just a mare in the field that is the last year winner put the kettles on. She is the defending champion, but I think that recently she is a bit disappointed. So maybe the gelding number 7, Shiskin, is really hard to beat. So my best bet will be number 7, Shiskin, in race 4, the champion chase.
Yeah, Shiskin undefeated so far in the UK, even though I don't know where Inch is. That was that was her very first start, but every other start after that's been a win. You'll get about $1.85 on the Australian market, so that would be the Betway Queen Mother's Champion Chase, Grade 1, over 3,199 meters. And Sara, who is your best bet? I wonder what it is.
Yeah, I'm the same as you, Joe. I'm in race 1 with the 4 here, Journey with Me, of course, with Rachael Blackmore aboard. This is undefeated in Ireland, coming over. I mean, this horse has just been rather impressive. It comes out, debut race, wins that race, takes 9 months off, and then comes back and get back-to-back wins. So we'll see how he does over the Cheltenham course. And I do agree. I think Three Stripe Life is going to be a tough one. Obviously it was Sir Gerhard in the picture here. It could just be a race between the 3 of those. And I'm with Steve here. I do hope we see a flip of the table against Sir Gerhard. And let's see if maybe me and Joe and Steve get one too.
Yeah, hopefully we get a trifecta if you include Sir Gerhard in this one. So to recap, Sara and I go for race number 1, and that is number 4, Journey with Me, with Rachael Blackmore. Steve also is in race number 1, number 8, Three Stripe Life. And then Charene has her best bet in race number 4, Shiskin. So we're going to go on to our next best bets. And this one's going to be pretty tough because there are a lot of great big fields, and if you haven't really played a lot of Cheltenham racing or jumps racing or anywhere that has big fields, some will pay for a 4th place. So you could get a place dividend if you finish in the top 4. And as Steve mentioned off air, some will pay more than that. So with that being said, I'm in the camp of the flat race at the end. So race number 7, 3,298 meters, the Weatherby Champions Bumper. So we're going to be going on the flat. I'm going to take a pretty big long shot here. Take a chance with them at $51 on the win line if it wins. But if you do get a place, I'm sure it's going to pay pretty good. He's only carrying 64, and that's number 21, Poetic Music. He is racing really well. He had 3 wins in a row, goes off for a spell. 4-year-old. Yeah, he's won over at Cheltenham before. So I think that's going to be going for him. But remember, this is a standing start. So you don't really get to see them break out of the gate. They're going to be all right next to each other. But I think that with the $51, and there is a clear-cut favorite in horse number 7, Facile Vega. But I think we could take them on here, especially with the big fields. The favorites are usually, if they're really, really that good, they could beat a 22-horse field. And I think that, I don't know, I think that it could be very vulnerable. I mean, it looks like a 2-horse race between American Mike, number 2, and then also Facile Vega, number 7. So we're going to try to find some value with one that has been pretty consistent with 3 wins in a row coming from a spell and carrying 64 kilos. So, Steve, who is your next best bet?
I went to race number 2, the Brown Advisory Novices Chase with Capodanno. Really interesting horse, trained by the excellent Willie Mullins. He's a quiet day, Willie Mullins. He's only had to wait till the very last race for his first win of the day. But Capodanno, he's a 6-year-old with his best days ahead of him. He's only had 3 starts over the larger obstacles, the fences. And he won on his chase debut at Naas, despite making a pretty bad blunder 2 outs. Naas is a left-handed track, the same as Cheltenham, but left-handed or right-handed. Capodanno runs well. His penultimate run, 2 runs back, he was no match for Bob Ollinger. That was in the Kildare Novice Chase, going right-handed at Punchestown. But that was only Capodanno's second run over fences. And Bob Ollinger is interesting. He's very strongly fancied in Thursday's Townend Novices Chase over 2.5 miles. So a good run by Capodanno tomorrow would be a good pointer towards Bob Ollinger's chance on Thursday. My selection, he's not foot perfect. He unseated at Leopardstown last time, but he's a very interesting contender for me. Capodanno running in the JP McManus Silks and ridden by the excellent Mark Walsh, who rides for JP McManus. So Capodanno for me.
Yeah, Capodanno looks like we're going to throw at that last race at Leopardstown. Looks really good in Ireland. Has not finished below a 4th. So aside from that race where he unseated the rider. So we're going to see about $8 in the Australian market. So that's pretty good value as opposed to Braves Gain Man, who's on a winning streak and drifting in the market at $3.75. So Charene, who do we have as your next best bet?
Yeah, actually, my next best bet will be in race 2 as well in the Brown Advisory Novice Chase. I will go for the current favorites, Brave Man's Game, and I hope that the drifting tide does not matter because this time Brave Man's Game will be racing in a bigger field, and I'm also confident on him because he did well in the hurdles before. He went 3rd in the Ballymore Novice Hurdle last year in the Cheltenham Festival, but in this year he performs even better in the chase. He scored 4 from 4 in the last 4 chase races, including a great one at Campton. And also last time out at Newbury, he can still keep the winning streak at 7-year-old, and it was quite impressive. And this year, Cheltenham Festival again, but it will be the Brown Advisory Novice Chase, and hopefully I can see Brave Man's Game can have consistent performance on Wednesday. So I will go for number 3, Brave Man's Game in race 2.
Going for a 5-peat here with Brave Man Game, as I said, $3.75 drifting in the market, but that could always change. And especially since he's faced smaller fields, about 4 horses, but he has had a second in a 12-horse field and then 3rd in a 7-horse field. So not very familiar with the bigger fields. And this one's about 11 horses. So we'll see how that goes for Charene, and about 164, the highest rated horse in the field. So, and Sara, who do we have as your next best bet?
Mine comes in race 4. I'm going with the 5 here, Noob Negra, this 8-year-old gelding who got second in this race last year. Really close second, only lost by half a length there. He's just been quite impressive, showed great form. He's familiar with the Cheltenham track. He's ran at this distance in November and performed exceptionally well, winning by 6 lengths over a tough competitive field. Coming in, he's just got off of a 4th place finish there at Sandown Park. But I do think you're going to get some pretty decent value here on him as well. He just seems really tough. I mean, he hasn't raced in 102 days, so that layoff may be a little bit of a red flag here. But I am going to take my chances. I just think he's proven over, especially the Cheltenham course. So I do think we're going to see some great performance out of him. See if he can get the win this year. He didn't get it last year. Maybe he can get it this year. So that is the 5, Noob Negra, and race 4.
Number 5, Noob Negra. Steve, I'm going to ask you this real quick. Do we see a lot of jumps horses from Spain? Because I think this is a Spain-bred horse.
No, we don't actually. No, it's not something we generally see. I mean, we don't see so many French these days in the race, but obviously French-bred horses. But no, Spain quite unusual.
Yeah, so interestingly enough, I do have Harry Skelton, who I think is one of the greater jumps jockeys as far as watching if you're watching in the UK. And Sara's going to take on Shishkin, who is Charene's best value bet. But with Noob Negra, you are going to get $15, and it's coming off of a spell. So we're going to see some of our best bets clash. So to recap, I'm going for race number 7, number 21, Poetic Music on an each way chance. Steve goes for number 4 in race number 2, Capadano. Same race, number 3 for Charene, Braves Man Game, and race number 4, Noob Negra. So hope you enjoyed our preview of day 2 of the Cheltenham Festival. For Wednesday, we do have the Hong Kong Derby coming up with a special edition show on the Beer Garden, so be on the lookout for that. We're still going to be covering the rest of the Cheltenham Festival as well, so we still have 2 more days to cover, but we're looking forward to seeing how the rest of the festival unfolds, and hopefully we back you, or we get you some winners that you back. So have a good night, everybody, or a good day for wherever you're watching, and good luck.